going, guys? Jay and Derek here with Tap and Turn Gaming, coming at you with a little introductory video today for something new we're going to be featuring on our channel. So right now there's this new format for EDH, and I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard of it, maybe some of you haven't, but what we're going to be talking about today is tiny leaders. So it's basically a new little twist on the EDH format, so why don't you tell us a little bit about it, Derek?
Yeah, so it's a variant of a variant, I guess, you know, where EDH is a variant of a singleton format, and this is I guess a sub-format of that, but it's been gaining in popularity, I think, because it's a faster game. So basically, it functions in the same essence and spirit as EDH, whereas you have a general, he determines your colors, and that's your deck. But instead of being 99 cards, you've now dropped to 49 cards plus your general, so essentially 50 cards. Instead of 40 life, you have 25. Instead of 21 commander damage, that's been erased. It's just all been assimilated into the 25-point life total. So overall, it just makes for a faster game. More of the standard length games, you know, 10, 15, 20-minute game maybe, but you're still retaining that essence of what EDH is.
Couple of other things, you know, worth noting. For this particular format, all of the cards in your deck have to be converted mana cost 3 or less. So right now, with Fate Reforged being the most current set, we have 3 new generals, or potential generals, that you could have. You have Alesha, who smiles at death, Shu Yun the Silent Tempest, and Yasova Dragonclaw. Now, one thing also worth noting is there are no legendary creatures in Magic right now that are CMC 3 or less in the colors of Sultai. So what the people who have created this format have done, I guess, to kind of throw a bone to people that really want to play Sultai, is you have the option of using a generic legendary creature that's a 2/2 creature for 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 black. But it doesn't do anything. It's just a vanilla, a vanilla 3-cost 2/2 that's Sultai colors. So if you desperately want to play Sultai, you have the ability to do so. It's just your general doesn't do anything other than it's just a 2/2 body. So I mean, if you really do want to play Sultai, you can. But the only other thing really worth noting is this format has a completely different ban list from regular EDH. So, you know, there's no Umezawa's Jit, there's no Soul Ring, there's no, you know, Strip Mine, stuff like that. We'll put a link in the description of the video so you can check out, you know, the ban list for this specific format. But, you know, I really do, I mean, Derek and I haven't actually played out a Tiny Leaders game yet. This is just kind of our little introduction to it. We're going to delve into it and see how we like it or maybe dislike it or whatever. But, you know, overall, I really do like the idea of it. You know, it still retains that EDH feel where, you know, you pick your general and you build an army around your general, but the deck is cut in half, and you don't have access to all these, you know, bomb diggity cards that, you know, can just win you a game right on the spot. You know, it still has that EDH feel, but it's kind of stripped down to the point where it's almost kind of like you're playing standard, you know, like you said, you know, the speed, you know, it's, and I feel like it's a lot more, it's kind of a more competitive format as well, where, you know, your deck is not 100 cards, it's 50 cards, and the matches are quicker. Normally, with this format, you play like best 2 out of 3, and it's normally just 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's cool about it is that you think of just standard 60-card decks. You're playing with a deck that's smaller than that. You know, so you draw your 7 cards starting, and you only have 42 cards left in your deck. So you're already considerably smaller than a standard deck. But one of the things that I think is really cool about it is that you really have to like rack your creative Magic juices, because you think, oh, I'm gonna play Hound of Isamaru, 1-cost general, that's cool. You're playing white, you're like, oh, Wrath of God. Oh, can't play Wrath of God.
Yep.
You know, these cards you've known to be good for so long, you just instantly can't play. You know, things like, oh, I'm going to play blue, I'm going to play Teferi. Oh, I can't play Teferi, I can't do it.
Yeah, or if you're playing black, Diabolic Tutor. You
Yeah.
can't play that. Demonic Tutor is actually on the ban list. You cannot play Demonic Tutor. So, I mean, you lose access to basically every black tutor, almost every black tutor.
I think the only one to be left is probably like
Diabolic Intent or Vampiric Tutor.
Yeah, Diabolic Intent. Yeah. You can't play Infernal Tutor because it's not going to do anything.
Yeah. But, naming off some more cards like Grade Pact. Can't play that. That's converted mana
some of these
cost
cards that have just they're your relied upon cards for colors. Like in green, you can't play an Explosive Vegetation or even a Acidic Slime. These regular cards that you play in your decks probably 100 times out of 100 to 99 times out of 100.
Yep.
You just can't play them now, and that's what I like about it. For me, it's not about the speed or the more fast-paced games or the more competitiveness to them. For me, it's really about taking that creativeness to the next level. Like, I'm all about cool interactions and picking crazy cards. Well, for me, it's even stressing that back more because there's cards that I've used for my 10, 20 years of Magic playing that now I just can't touch. And even some of the cards you could, they're now banned. So it's true. It's really cool.
And another thing that I really do like about it is, there's particular cards that you probably would normally never even look at to put into an EDH deck.
Yeah.
And now, you may look at these cards now as, for this particular format, that card seems pretty damn good. There could be maybe like a 1-cost 1/1 with some sort of activated ability that costs, like 4 mana or something like that. Normally,
you play the 7 or 8 cost version that just does it.
Exactly. So, it kind of puts an emphasis on like the power level of these cards where, you see, something, that you can't play in this format, but you find something maybe that's similar to it that costs less than that, but has like some sort of activated ability that you would, if you were building a regular EDH deck and you looked at it, you'd be like, I am playing that garbage when I can play this guy that already does it automatically.
Right.
But now, in this particular format, you really, have to dig deep into your, creative genius.
Your magic essence.
Yes, to, find cards that are going to work well in your deck. And, one of the things that, I generally try to do when I'm building decks is whatever my commander is, I want to synergize around my commander. So, it really does bring, I think, like a new level of ingenuity to the deck building process where, you have such this limited pool of cards, 3 or less mana cost, and, you really do have to put a lot of thought into each one of those slots, because now your deck, instead of 100 cards, it's 50 or 49 plus your commander. So it really does make you have to stress, is this card worth this slot in my deck?
Yeah, because you figure you're going to run 18, 19 lands, maybe 17, whatever. So if you're running 18 lands, you literally have 31 spots left. That's it, 31 spots. That's all you have to work with. So your creatures, artifacts, enchantments, you gotta be more picky, and it's not like standard where you can throw 4 copies in of that cool card. It's just that one. It's pretty cool. I like it.
I do like it as well. So yeah, I mean, that's more or less what Tiny Leaders is all about. I mean, it's kind of, it burst out onto the scene, I believe, like a few months ago, and it's just gaining more and more popularity. And from what I've read, some people love it, some people hate it, some people, are kind of indifferent towards it. I personally think it's pretty cool, just from reading about it. But, I guess we'll see, when we actually get into building decks for it and playing out games for you guys, see how we really feel about it. But my overall take on it right now, just from looking at it, I think it'll be pretty cool. I think I might enjoy it.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's also daunting about EDH is that 99 cards is that an EDH deck can be expensive. It's hard to build a reasonably powerful EDH deck without spending at least 200. It's hard.
Yeah, that's
that's hard to do.
100% true. Yeah.
and you also have to buy 100 sleeves and a deck box that will fit it, so you spend a little more on the deck box. Something like these Tiny Leader decks, the monetary investment is much smaller, So I think tiny leaders being relevant will get more people into EDH and eventually more people into regular EDH. Because they'll see how cool it is to build these decks around this general, and you have the general and their army, and these are their colors. And I think people will branch off into regular EDH as well. And that could be good for the format. I don't think it won't be bad for the format.
Oh yeah, I could only see it helping rather than hurting. I mean, like you said, you know, maybe someone that's just breaking out onto the Magic scene hears about EDH, wants to build the deck, you know, and maybe they're on a budget. You know, oh well, I only have, you know, like $40 to dump into cards. And like you said, you know, to build a, you know, relatively competitive, good EDH deck, you know, that's 100 cards. You're going to be spending at least $100 to even make it relevant.
If you're at least including the cost of the deck box and the sleeves, it's hard to spend less than that.
Yeah.
You know, like 2 packs of sleeves in the deck box will almost always run you $20. So it's
true.
The monetary investment is considerably smaller, which is good to get people into it, I think.
And I would have to agree that, you know, if, you know, people that are maybe on a budget get into tiny leaders first, and then they want to branch out into regular EDH, you know, it'll just gain more awareness for the format that you and I are all about.
Yeah. Love it.
All right, guys, so, I mean, that pretty much wraps up things here about tiny leaders. You know, let us know what you think in the comment section below the video. If you've already, you know, built a tiny leaders deck, if you're interested in playing it, you know, let us know what you think. You know, if you have a deck, a tiny leaders deck, you know, leave us a link in the, you know, comment section if you have a link to a deck you've made or whatever. Just give us your overall thoughts on the format. Derek and I are pretty excited to, you know, kind of delve into it and, you know, see what it's like.
Yeah, because I'm stubborn. I don't like change. Not at all. I'm very hard pressed to make changes. But so yeah, it'll be pretty fun, I think.
I would have to agree. I think it will be.
And I mean, yeah, as a little spoiler, we both picked our first tiny leader generals. So you can give yours away.
Yeah. So with, you know, Fate Reforged bringing those 3 new generals for tiny leaders, I have decided to build a deck around Alesha, who smiles at death. I actually do have the deck list pretty much all compiled, refined. I just need to acquire a few cards that I don't have for it, and
I'm going with an oldie but a favorite, Tiny Tesa. Tesa, Scion of Orzova, or Orzova Scion, whichever her name is. Like, I think it's Orzova Scion.
Something like that.
But yeah, Tiny Tesa. That's what I'm going with. Good old black-white. So, and it's funny because we actually overlap colors. You're red, black, white, and I'm just black, white. So
yeah, it's true.
Probably see some similar cards in our decks, but that's because when you have less options, you're going to see the same cards.
That's true. So yeah, you know, that pretty much wraps up things here, guys. You know, so stay tuned to our channel for more stuff on tiny leaders. We're, you know, going to get cracking on making some decks for this format. Cracking it? Making decks for this format, playing it out, see how we feel about it. So, you know, let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you later. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, one more thing is that, so for any of you who watch our channel regularly, because we have a show now. Anybody who watches our channel regularly, you know we did a 200 subscriber giveaway. The person that we picked as the winner, they never got back to us. So I think what we're going to do now is the first person to comment on this video will win the 200 subscriber prize. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
You know, we announced the person's name. I reached out to them personally. They never got back to us, so we've added a few more subscribers since then. So whoever subscribes to this first, just say you want the prize, and you'll get the prize. Fair enough. Nice and easy.
Fair enough. So, you know, if you want a little, you know, kind of spoiler as to what you would be getting, you know, you can watch our video where we announce the subscriber giveaway, you know, kind of a little foreshadowing as to what we picked out for the giveaway. So yeah, you know, first person to subscribe, you get some free stuff. So, you know.
First person to comment, right?
I'm sorry, first person to comment, yes. But yeah, anyway.
You get free magic related stuff.
Alright, this is Jay and Derek with Tap and Turn Gaming. Thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. We'll catch you later.